US election 2020 has reached a crucial stage as it is the final day for Americans to cast their votes. 95 million Americans have already voted. The two candidates, US President Donald Trump and his Democratic challenger Joe Biden, are already crisscrossing the nation to make the final pitch to voters before the country makes the most important choice. US President Donald Trump is holding 5 election rallies across 4 states: North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin and Michigan. During a rally in Pennsylvania, Trump yet again cast doubts on mail-in ballot system. Election officials in the state are allowed to count ballots that are received 3 days after election night. Pennsylvania's top court ordered an extension until the 6th of November. They have ruled that ballots can be counted even if it does not have a clear postmark, as long as there is no proof that the ballot was mailed after the polls closed. US Supreme Court refused to block this decision. However, Donald Trump is having a hard time trusting this process.
Now, they said, how is he going to do in Pennsylvania? He's going to win Pennsylvania except for the cheating. We figure we have to leave 5% for the cheating that takes care. Can you believe it? For the cheating that takes place in Pennsylvania. And the guy meant it, a very great pollster, but he predicted we'd win the whole election. But the question was, what about Pennsylvania? He said, well, you have to leave 5% for the cheating. And when the Supreme Court gave you an extension, they made a very dangerous situation.
First Lady of the United States, Melania Trump, also made an appearance on the campaign trail in North Carolina. She made a final poll pitch in the battleground state on behalf of Donald Trump. She urged those who belong to military families to vote for Trump.
Donald Trump and our entire administration is behind you 100%. Love you too. You're not the forgotten men and women in uniform. You are the backbone of our nation. You fight for us, so my husband fights for you. The United States is the greatest country in the world. As someone who immigrated to this country, I know firsthand that is a place where the possibilities are endless and families can grow and flourish.
On the other side, presidential nominee Joe Biden is urging black voters in Pittsburgh to help him win the most important state, which is Pennsylvania. Biden spoke about his plan to promote black economic mobility and acknowledged the disproportionate effect of COVID-19 on this community. He also made a poll pitch to a group of union members.
Pittsburgh, honk if you think his commitment of having done more for the African American community than Abraham Lincoln is true. Honk your horn. Silence. You got it, man. Pittsburgh, honk if you think it's a bunch of malarkey. He's lying. We're a laughing stock around the world right now. The only thing that can tear America apart is America itself. And that's exactly what Donald Trump has been doing from the beginning of this campaign. He knows the only way he can win is divide America.
Former US President Barack Obama headed to Georgia to make a poll pitch on behalf of Joe Biden. Joe Biden will be joined by American singer-songwriter Lady Gaga at one of his rallies in Pennsylvania.
Tomorrow, after 4 years of failure.
Joining us on this broadcast now is WION correspondent Jagruti Dave, who joins us live from Washington, D.C. Jagruti, just a few hours left now for the big day, the election day in America. But 97.8 million people have already cast their vote. That is 71% of the entire voter turnout in 2016. So 71% from 2016 have already cast their vote heading to the final day. And still, Joe Biden has a nationwide lead over Donald Trump, isn't it? And this time, Joe Biden's lead is bigger over Trump than what Hillary Clinton had over Trump 4 years ago.
Yes, nationally, Joe Biden does have around a 10-point lead over Donald Trump, and it's been a consistent lead as well. But of course, you know, the way America votes, it's not really about the popular vote. It's about the Electoral College, those that 270 number that each candidate needs to pass in Electoral College votes in order to win the presidency. And that is why crucial battleground states are aware the fight is being taken to by both candidates, states like Pennsylvania, like Florida. That's where the margin could be so close that, you know, look at Florida in 2016. President Trump won it by a slim margin of just over 2%, and he took all of Florida's 29 Electoral College votes. That's why the fight is going to these battleground states, and it's a close contest in many of these states like Georgia, where both candidates are tied, and Georgia is looking increasingly competitive. It's a stalwart Republican state that looks like it could go either way. So this is how, just as the early turnout has been unprecedented, this also, the closely fought battleground states are changing, and both candidates are keen to make sure that they get their vote to turn out there.
Absolutely, Jagruti. You know, Donald Trump has repeatedly said without evidence that mail-in votes are prone to fraud, and he maintains it to this day. And what makes it difficult is that 60 million mail-in votes have already been cast. But one thing that we are expecting, or we are not expecting, is a winner on election night, because of the high number of mail-in ballots, it could take days, and some reports suggest even weeks, to count all these ballots cast. So the winner most likely will not be announced on election night, isn't it?
Yes, it's highly unlikely that we will know, we will get a result on election night. Postal votes take longer to count than in-person ballots. So it's expected that voting will continue probably till the end of the week. As you say, some estimates say it could take longer, but there's also the problem of contesting the election. You know, President Trump has suggested that the legitimacy of ballots that arrive in states like Pennsylvania, they're allowed to count ballots 3 days after the November the 3rd election day. But President Trump has claimed falsely that that is somehow evidence of fraud. And so he has also suggested that he will bring the lawyers in to deal with situations like that. So, you know, the fight doesn't end, it seems, on November the 3rd. The divisiveness and the controversies that have surrounded voting and mail-in voting are likely to continue past November the 3rd.
Right. Even Barack Obama said that Donald Trump's push to stop counting votes on election night was undemocratic. In fact, Obama went ahead and called Donald Trump a two-bit dictator. So we are seeing some star campaigners enter the fray, isn't it? Barack Obama of late has been campaigning for Joe Biden, and now we are also hearing that Lady Gaga is also going to take the stage, isn't it, Jagruti?
Yes, we have Lady Gaga and the musician John Legend also turning out for the Biden campaign. It's been, you know, a lot of people have been turning out for both candidates. You know, it's ordinary people have been out campaigning, but you have each election celebrities coming out trying to galvanize the vote and get people to come out and vote for their candidate. But, you know, as we know, the thing that seems to have pushed a lot of people to vote hasn't been the celebrities. It's actually been the coronavirus. You know, many people choosing to vote early and by mail because of the pandemic, one of the many issues that is at the forefront of voters' minds this election.
Absolutely. And Joe Biden has made Donald Trump's handling of the coronavirus pandemic his main poll issue, isn't it? He's been attacking Donald Trump, saying that Donald Trump has failed the American people. Joe Biden was also urging black voters in Pittsburgh to help him win this presidential race, because Pittsburgh was the center of the recent Black Lives Matter movement in America, isn't it? Battle and a fight for racial equality. So Joe Biden is banking on these two main issues that are Donald Trump's handling of the pandemic pandemic and the racial tensions isn't.
Yes, absolutely. The coronavirus pandemic, we must remember, has also affected minority communities disproportionately. It's affected elderly people disproportionately. And those are actually some of the groups that Joe Biden has been targeting in states like Florida to try to get them to turn out and vote for him. Donald Trump, however, has been securing the votes of some African Americans. And he has also been trying to push out the vote from the Hispanic community. He has been constantly calling Joe Biden a socialist, trying to appeal to Cuban Americans and Puerto Rican Americans in the United States. So both candidates are using the pandemic as well. You know, Joe Biden is coming at it from a public health perspective, claiming that the president has failed to protect the American people. President Trump is attacking Joe Biden, claiming that he is going to bring about another economic shutdown, to which Joe Biden is saying that he's not trying to shut down the economy, he's going to shut down the virus. Right. Again, his proposals for things like a mask mandate, it's difficult to see whether he would be able to enforce those kinds of things legally. So, you know, as you say, race and the pandemic, central issues in this election.
Jagriti, thank you so much for joining us and getting us all these updates from Washington, D.C. just hours before the final big voting day in America.